This isn't going to go well.
Why not?
This is what happens when I wear pants. These are my notes for this. And I accidentally washed them. Within 5 minutes, I was like, oh my God, my notes are in my pants. And I ran to the washer and they came out and I said to myself, well, maybe they'll dry. Well, hi there. It's time for another frequently asked artist question. We're going to talk today about fixing mistakes in watercolor. I am saying this now with peace and love, just like Ringo Starr. Peace and love, peace and love. When it comes to fixing mistakes in watercolor, with the techniques I'm going to show you, you really have to use a high quality watercolor paper for it to work. If you don't use a high quality watercolor paper, it's going to get damaged. It's not going to have the same results as a high quality watercolor paper. So let's just get into it, okay? Right here, I am using Fabriano Artistico Natural watercolor paper, 140 pound cold press. And let's say that I was just, I don't know, let's just do some tree bark here. And I'm not wet enough. Ooh, that's not good. And I'm making my tree. And you know, I don't know, doorbell rings or the dryer buzzes. And I go, whoop, oh, shizzle. Everybody relax. We can get through this, all right? Right now, in this scenario, the best time to remove it is while it's still wet. What I would do is take a paper towel or some kind of rag and blot it. And wipe it. Magic, right? The longer the color stays on the page, the harder it will be to remove. However, let's say that it wasn't so obvious, okay? Let's say it was a mistake, such as something, I don't know, like little, like something where it would be very difficult to just blot it and keep the shape, okay? If it's touching like this, if you hit it with water, the water will then run into the other paint, reactivate it because it doesn't dry permanent, and then it will make a hot mess. So what you have to do is wait for the right amount of dry. It's not too long, it's not too short, it's just right. It's the baby bears of dry. I think the best thing to do is you want to wait until, if you hold it in the light, it's not going to be gleaming. And at that point, you can then go and try again. Now, some colors are going to lift easier than others, all right? Now, what makes a color an easier lifter versus a harder lifter? And the answer is the staining power of the pigment. Certain colors are more staining than others. And when they stain, well, it's just like what it sounds like. You got to use Tide to Go or something. Don't use Tide to Go. I mean, use it if I have no problem with it, but not in your watercolor painting. It's just not a good idea. You don't necessarily need to avoid the staining colors. Just know that they're going to give you a little harder time lifting. One tool that you can use that will help you lift watercolor to correct a mistake is called a scrubber brush. This is a fish scrubber brush. It's very famous. You know, I think Jay-Z made this famous. You know, when it comes to watercolor problems, you might have 99, but a fish ain't gonna be 1. This thing works, okay? It's like a stiff white nylon. Will, I want you to make sure you can see that it's stiff. It's shaped to give you more control. So if I wanted to just say clean up the bottom of this here, first I'm gonna wet it. You can use a spray bottle, and then once it's reactivated, you just scrub it up. You just scrub it up. And move on with your life. Now, I'm going to show you right here real quick. What happens if you use a scrubber brush on a not so high quality paper? I should have a spray bottle. What am I doing with this? If I start to try to lift on this paper, okay, Will, get in tight. I'm gonna take my time here to show this. What are you seeing, Will? Clumps, okay? It's not strong enough to withstand my superhuman scrubbing. And then when you try to paint over it again, you've removed the sizing and it absorbs into the page and looks like crap. I'm gonna show you one other thing, okay? Now this is the ultimate cheating, but I like cheating. It makes it easier. One thing that you can buy or that you can use is an opaque watercolor. The problem though is people can usually tell. If you try something like Aquacover, these are made to, they're like white out for specific watercolor papers. It's basically a gouache that's been designed to completely match a watercolor paper. Does that make sense? This is designed to go right over it and match. Now while it's wet, it will be a little bit lighter, but it will dry darker. Now once this dries, if you want to then paint over it, you can with a dry brush. So less water in your paint, more paint than water in your brush. That's a lot. This stuff's also pretty great in addition to using it for covering up mistakes, for highlights and accents. So if you wanted to do snow on a mountain or gleam on a car, whatever it is that you want to lighten up with some white, this is what you do. Because this is now dry, because who knows what we've been doing in these cuts. I'm a hooker. Now I was going to blow myself. This is where the Aquacover is. How do we paint over it? I'm going to try to mix up some color but keep it a little bit drier. You get basically one pass at a time. If you try to do two passes at once, it's going to reactivate that Aquacover. So you have to, real quick, okay? Now once you've painted over the area with the Aquacover, then you can go all day long everywhere else. You can, you know, free ride. And then you can wet it up. You can get all wet with it. Look how wet it is. Look how wet I'm being, Olivia. Just take it easy, but you can see that right now, I mean, can you tell that there's anything? It looks like, I mean, honestly, it looks like paper to me. The last thing to just kind of close this up, the best thing in my opinion out of all these things is make it work for you, man. You know, you're an artist, right? Not all mistakes are the end of the world. Sometimes they force you to think outside the box. If it was that, you know, what we started with there, just that little mark that was kind of off to the side, I don't know, you know, get thick, thicken it up. Make it work for you so that you can keep going. If you have your technique for fixing mistakes in watercolors, tell me below. Share the wealth, share the knowledge. So cover up your mistakes, cover up your art, and cover me up on Instagram. That's not a crime, is it? At Mike Not Jerry. I think I've said enough. I've actually grown a 5 o'clock shadow since we've been doing this, so we should probably move on. Watch this. Olivia pulled the gun out. Like, have you ever seen a comedian that was so bad it was like uncomfortable? Yeah, every day at work. Oh, it smells like man. I'm in need of a guy. I'm not French, but I'm willing to try. Watercolor sucks. Watercolor's good.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
Did I take my pills this morning?